Yeah, I mean, great college basketball game. That's what rivalries are supposed to be about. Two teams just playing as hard as they possibly can. A lot of emotion, physicality, defensive effort, the whole thing, second effort, third effort. So, that's what college basketball rivalries are supposed to look like. And great showing, an unbelievable crowd. The student section was amazing. I mean, you just get the ebbs and flows of the game, but that's the fun stuff. This is the fun stuff.
Todd, you got rebounded at 35 to 28, I think it was. Do you feel like that was the difference down the stretch in the second half, just the ability to grab rebounds and get extra possessions?
Yeah, I thought we got all but one that really mattered down that stretch. One we kind of wanted back, but that's a huge deal. And that's usually a great indicator of our successes when we're really dominating the glass.
In the first game, your zone kind of frustrated them before they exploded their lead. What was kind of the strategy tonight, and how were you guys able to really slow them?
Yeah, we wanted to change defenses at every possibility that we could, and you want to do it at dead balls, timeouts, and we changed our zone. I mean, it looks like the same zone, but it wasn't, and so we were trying to. Really execute defensively, and last game, looking at the film, majority of the points that we really gave up was in turnovers and transition and all those type of things. So we felt good about our man. I think our man has grown leaps and bounds during our little shooting cold slump here. We really found our defense just to stay in games, and so our man defense and our zone defense are both be weapons for us down the stretch here.
With your guys' recent stretch of losses, how big is this one moving forward for the rest of the schedule, and just in terms of being as big a rivalry game as this?
This group has just doubled down after every adversity. The next practice has always been better than the last one. And they come back and they get closer together and they double down and they do it again. And you just say, hey, I've seen this enough. Basketball rewards you at some point for being great teammates and holding each other accountable and practicing the way it is. So today was a little bit of a culmination of that. You hold a team to 41%. That's fantastic offensively, really well coached, great players, and then we finally shoot 50 from the floor and 86 from the free throw line. That is hopefully something for us to hang our hat on going forward.
We've talked about Toledo shooting, but you also forced a lot of turnovers. How impressed were you with the ability you were just able to kind of keep them flummoxed and kind of unsettled on?
A huge priority. It was a big priority for us. We needed it, especially coming out second half. We weren't forcing enough turnovers in that first half, and we've made some adjustments over the past week to 10 days that we wanted to kind of reinvent ourselves a little bit. Some of that with necessity, the things that we wanted to do early in the year with injuries and whatnot, and say, okay, maybe abilities aren't going to be there for this season, but we can do this, and this. And so we had to reinvent ourselves a little bit, and turnovers are going to be a big part of what we do.
After nailing that shot right before halftime, how important was it to kind of keep your foot on the gas? Because obviously you guys never trailed within that whole second half.
Yeah, to lead for 28 minutes against a team like that was something I was proud of the guys' maturity, because we answered the bell at every turn. But you can't come out of that locker room. They're going to come out with a champion's mentality, right? They've got 3 straight. They weren't going to roll over. We know there's going to be another heavyweight fight in that second half. So we showed leaps in our mentality to be able to string together a full 40 minutes without any lapses.
Obviously only one game, but when you can breathe kind of fresh life into a great rivalry and breathe new life into the season, energize it after 6 of 8 losses and a kind of really tough one in Central, just how big is this one?
Well, it's really important. We talking with the team. There's a team last year that lost 6 of 8 in league play that was pretty good, and that was UConn. And it was the same deal. They struggled to shoot in January, lost 6 of 8, and then they found it, and they went on a tear. So there's no reason we can't be a similar model of a season. And so, I always like the ultimate challenges. If we're struggling at something, I want to play a team that does it really well. and let's just test ourselves. So, hey, we're struggling, and you need to make shots against Toledo to beat them. Yeah, that's the perfect opponent for us. But it's a great rivalry. I mean, this is something these are legacy type games. We want the community to really embrace our guys and our team, our program, and you do that by making this rivalry, not a lopsided affair.
You guys have some UConn Magic coming in March?
Hey, I'll take it if you're selling it.
You've been a part of big wins in your career in the past, Coach, emotional wins against rivalry teams. How do you carry this forward to not have a letdown hangover next year?
Yeah, and you put your hard hat back on. We got a much needed weekend day off tomorrow, which we haven't experienced a lot of, and so it'll be a great rest period. You got guys that have been sick. Jason Spurgeon, at 102-degree temperature before the game on Tuesday, and he's just on fumes, and guys are kind of beat up, and so this will be a great deal. But then we come back on Sunday, it's rent's due again. Right, rent's due. You get the last one's into the last one, and we've got to, get ready to go again.
You all took those away through the season. I'm just kind of curious, as you look back in retrospect, take a second and talk about the level of play here in the MAC. What do you think?
Yeah, MAC it's an interesting league. Obviously I was a huge fan growing up at the MAC, went to a MAC school and followed along. It's always a physical league, all right? You have good athletes, you have good coaches, a lot of experience, older players. There's no days off. The teams that maybe at the end, bottom of the standings to the top of the standings, there ain't that big of a margin, and so you got to bring it every single night, and most of these games are 1 to 2 to 3 possessions. So it's been good though. It's a good experience.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to win by 25 and not have any dry cleaning, and be a little bit less stressed in my life. But yeah, this is more fun.